This Meditainment production is brought to you today by the Samurai Aquatics and Decor Metaventure. Scan that QR code or click that link in the description and dive yourself headfirst into the Samurai Aquatics Discord server to pleasure your peepers on our current and future range of outdoor decor.
Established in April 2021, Upland Development United is the oldest and most exclusive and transparent no development collaborative in the Upland Metaverse. Contact Morecheese and Shaktilyn for more information. Warning! This podcast is produced by Metaverse Ventures Entertainment and contains unsolicited and heavily biased opinions which are solely the views of the individuals involved. It does not include investment advice of any kind, and you are responsible for undertaking your own financial, including tax liability research relevant to your own individual circumstances.
Taking over the Upland Development United. Total meta domination.
Hello. Thank you for listening to and or watching the UDU podcast. This is year 2, number 97, presented by Metaverse Ventures Entertainment. Stepping in as guest host while Ben68 is away in Japan, coming home soon. This week, we have Shaktilyn and myself, Morecheese, featuring co-host Dak, Joe Lives, the agency, TB125, members from the Upland Development United team, and general Upland community members. Shaq, what's going on?
Hey everyone. Today's show is recording live on either Tuesday the 11th or Wednesday the 12th of March, depending on where you're at. Reminder that if you want to join in live with us, access to the weekly Zoom is via the MVE Discord server, and the link to that is in the description. Today we'll be catching up on some crypto and Upland news and running through our co-host segments. In summary, we'll be touching on general Upland and community news with Morecheese, Block Explorer news, position is vacant, legit news by TB125, the node report, position is vacant, URL cars and racing report by Dak, NFT news drop it like it's hot with Joe Lives, the agency, and D-Tech, and the UDU anniversary. Let's go over to Cheese for some Upland stuff.
All right, there's a lot. And I just noticed that we never got the market news from Ben, so I'm okay with just skipping it.
Crypto was up yesterday. Cool.
Crypto was what?
Crypto was up yesterday, so cool.
There you go. That's enough for me, right? All right, let's see. Let me pull up. We got a lot of Upland stuff. I just want to bring it up. I'm so not singing Elmo's song. All right, let's go over it. Easter egg hunt. Now, I don't usually participate in the treasure hunts because I am really awful at it. This one I did only because of this little bastard right here. I love his face. He looks amazing. He is Pepe in my mind. He's Pepe the freaking frog. So I'm going in on it. I got 8 treasure hunts. Is anybody else doing this? No. So these are the places, the 10 cities in Upland where you can go to do this event: Nashville, Dallas, Manhattan, Bronx, Rutherford, Rio, Buenos Aires, Los Angeles, Bakersfield, and Fresno. You have until, when do you have until? It started Sunday, and you have until what, Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday, April 12th at 9 a.m. PT. So you have, all of today to do this. And this is supposed to be the best one, but I really like that frog. Moving on, we have a Mangara wearable sale. That was this morning. I was able to get the first 2. There's a little bit of talk that there's not many options for the ladies. I think we had one option. Does Jack talk to Swall, and he said even the male costumes can be worn by females, which is, I guess, nice. I really do like this green one right here. This one is amazing. So I was gonna rock that, whether it's for a guy or not, whatever, I don't care. So yeah, are they even still? Let's see. Yep, they still have some for sale. They have the two for real fiat dollars, $20, and then $31.99. And then they still have 986 of the 20K UpX ones for sale, which is not bad, not a bad price if you want to just get your hands on this. Okay. Rebuild the world. OMG. Map Asset Manufacturing is here. Apply for a Map Asset Factory. We're going to talk more about this later, but I really like how they changed it from outdoor decor to Map Asset Factory, meaning that there is more of a broader, like, things you can make here. I'm thinking, hey, are we going to start taking things inside to indoor decor? Sounds exciting. I'm definitely going to apply. They have all the details here. You have to have a minimum of 5 spark. They say you could put it in any factory, but in my opinion only, I wouldn't go lower than the medium. You have to have KYC, identity verification, cannot be currently in Alcatraz, must be an Uplander or above. Of course, you have to agree to pay the monthly venture dues. When you create this, do not put Upland in your name or any other type of IP. And the applicant must agree to the capacity limits per factory size shown in the chart below. So small factory, you're only going to be able to stake 2 spark, but you still need to have a minimum of 5 spark to fill out the application. More on that later. We have so much, we're just skipping ahead. Now, before I get to this, actually, no, I'll get to this. Master Builders, Contest Phase 3. Now, I'm only saying this because they have pushed forward the submission deadline, which is amazing. I found this out from Blue Rain last night. Phase 3 submission deadline will now be Wednesday, April 19th at 11:59 p.m. PT, which is great. Guys, everybody has another week to do this. If there's anything more to talk about this, we will be talking about it later, where everybody comes and enjoys the conversation. And finally, I'm gonna stop sharing for this part. We have the kingdoms that Brom, what's his name? He was the one that won last year in the Genesis week. He has the Upland Optimizer website. He is Gron Brindle, and he is amazing. Like, I watched the video. Make sure you watch the video. We're gonna have it in the description of the YouTube. Basically, he's going to, I'm not gonna even say try, he's going to create a level 2 kingdoms type game connected to Upland, right? And there's just too much to talk on it. If people want to put like more information on it later, then definitely go ahead. But he has his dev diaries in the Upland Upland Optimizer. That's a good Upland Optimizer Discord. And he basically maps everything out as he's going, which is really important. You get to see it as it evolves. It looks really amazing. It looks like something that I will be devoting countless hours to when it is implemented and put into play. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. We'll have more to talk about it later. Shaq, we already went over the market news. So
So
Samurai.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Samurai Aquatics update. Samurai Aquatics and Decor update. Although our large factory is still manufacturing at full capacity, we've taken a bit of a break to create the first real batch of inventory for ourselves. Don't worry though, that won't impact on our showroom supply, because if you take a look around Aqua Vista Way and Midtown Terrace, you'll see that there's lots of stock ready to be placed in the showroom, which brings us to an interesting series of events that played out recently. Rather than dive into some silly cases, willfully ignoring the statements that are getting thrown around, it might be better to just stick to facts. This is from Ben. I don't know. When Upland first outlined information about outdoor decor, they said that items would need to be placed on existing plots of land that the player owned. That was the entire inspiration for Ben 68 to buy up large parts of Midtown Terrace as the future base of Samurai Aquatics, i.e., it was always the plan to store inventory on and around Aqua Vista Way. Oh, I see. All right. So if you want to dive into that more, you can go back to UDU team meeting #1 and watch. I believe what he's saying is the fact of neighborhood ratings. He has his stuff on his showroom inside Midtown Terrace, which it has to be. This is not a tactic of any sort to raise his thing. It just happens to be there. He happens to own the MetaVenture, and it has to be there. The information about decor boosting neighborhood scores is recent and made no change at all to our plans. As Ben has said on Twitter, why have decor scattered all over the place and wait for when we have to pay to move them? Makes far more sense to airdrop them close to the showroom for free. Many are far too busy looking backwards at what they can't do or miss out on rather than planning for the future. That ain't us. She's, I'm throwing the TV, take it away.
Hello, and apologize if there's any background noise. As usual, I'm out and about. First of all, let me tell you what's not happening. Nothing is really happening in the NFLPA world or the soccer world, as you might have noticed. Not because there's anything bad going on, just because it's kind of end of season and there's not a ton to report. On the FIFA side, though, has potential to be interesting. I've had a really busy week in my store. Tons and tons of stuff have been going through, all like really low price things. But I've got a couple of players who have figured out that if they drop one legit for like 50 UPX into my store and then put another 20 of theirs in at like 400 or 500, someone just comes along and sweeps up the whole lot and they get tempted in by the one and feel like they may as well spend some money while they're there. Which I guess is not that dissimilar to how most shops do marketing. So it's been quite interesting to watch. But tons of throughput, albeit all fairly low value things, but there's plenty still in there if anybody wants some cheap stuff. I'm hoping that with the wearables coming out now, that that extends to FIFA stuff at some point soon. I know it wasn't mentioned during the AMA back in at the start of the year, so that'll be really interesting to see whether that comes about in the near future or the further future. And then not to forget about the hackathon as well, which I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out of that for the Women's World Cup stuff. And I think there's a lot to look forward to FIFA-wise in the future from that side of things too. Structure ornaments-wise, I know nobody else really speaks to this stuff right now, so I'll just jump on that since I was lucky enough to get a structure ornament showroom, which is kind of exciting. The structural ornaments, I'm having a bit of a tough time tracking sort of what the prices are really fetching on those things at the moment. They're not quite as easy. Some of the classic sites haven't quite picked up on them to report yet, but I found that people are sort of willing to sell most of their structural ornaments, basic ones, for like 15, 20,000, and then I can stick 5,000 on them, and some people will pick them up. So that's been kind of interesting. And I know one of the other Vegas guys has one now as well. So it's kind of interesting seeing how all of these things are developing. There's been so much this week. It's really exciting. I'm torn between, I'm about 2 weeks away from completing my large factory in Vegas, and I'm trying to decide whether it's going to become a structural ornament facility or a no longer outdoor decor facility. So
No longer.
I think a lot of that's going to depend on how well my efforts to learn Blender in the next 14 days go. I've been giving it a shot. I would say if anyone's interested, like give it a try. Like it's not easy, but it's kind of interesting. So yeah. Anyway, I digress. And then cars, Series 2s and 4s seem to be getting cheaper, especially in US dollars, not pretty stable in UPS. And the races and the vans are really where the excitement's at the moment, especially the cargo vans. For anyone who's looking to flip those, you can pick them up for about 120, 130 bucks. And people, I say people, mostly Ben 68 in my sort of bits, have been picking up those for future endeavors. So yeah, Ben's been a good customer of mine this last couple of weeks, which is great. And then I don't want to steal Dak's thunder, so I'll let him speak to this if he's seen it. But it was quite interesting watching the auction over in House of Spark for the Series 1R. We can come back to that one later if anybody wants to. And that is all from TV this week. And if anybody has any questions? Stunned silence.
Take it away, Dak. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
have so much going on. I'm trying to figure out where the screen is. On top of that, I don't know about the auction happening in House of Spark, so I am very curious about that. I definitely would love to hear more about it, TV. So why don't you tell us?
Yeah, sure. I think a lot of people were tracking this. There was a month-long auction for a Series 1R Mint 1 over in House of Spark, where somebody had put down collateral on a loan and then failed to pay back the loan. So they put it up for auction, and it's just sold for $2,600, $2,600, which is a lot of money. But the mint price was like 3.3 mil, I think.
Oh,
if I remember rightly.
Maybe a little bit more, because I think that the lowest to get a number one, the lowest bid was like 4 million or something like that. Because 5.5 was the highest bid, and then I think it went down to like maybe 3.7 or something like that.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting because in a way you can argue it's actually been purchased below mint, which is a pretty good deal for somebody, albeit still a lot of money. Sadly, I didn't have that kind of cash to throw at it, but I think somebody's got a pretty sweet deal for themselves there.
Yeah, that is a mint number one SR1 for 2,600 is not a bad deal.
wow.
So,
But now
congratulations to the winner.
Yeah, right. Now you can tell us about all the other series ones.
Well, so the big news from my end is Friday starts the season, and Udo is the sponsor of our first ever season race. It is our Genesis race. It's going to happen in the Genesis Loop, and it's being sponsored by the Genesis Node Group. And so there's a lot of Genesis there. On top of that, just to kind of wrap it up nicely, we will be ending in the Genesis Loop at Genesis Week in Vegas. And it will be sponsored by UCC, who is the Genesis construction company in Upland. So how's that for, how many times did I say Genesis?
We should have took a shot.
Yeah, everybody be drunk.
We'd be drunk.
It's a new drinking game, right? So no, and so we're excited. Obviously, this is our first season. We have a short season because we want to experiment. We want to try different things, and so we're going to try to figure out how to do some streaming. So we're going to try to Twitch stream it. I'm going to work with Elijah. Hey, Elijah. To see how we can get that also on the Real Node LA kind of in their spatial IO. So the idea is to kind of learn to stream it and then learn to package it and then turn it into a 1 hour kind of racing event that people will be able to watch. My plan is to have pretty much 5 to 6 segments in each show. 3 of them are going to be the races. There's going to be 2 qualifiers and then the final heat. right? And an opening, an outro, so an intro and outro, and a man on the street with the goldsmith, hopefully doing some interviews with different folks, whether it's sponsors, drivers, team principals, race commissioners, whatever it might be. Goldsmith will be able to do whatever segment he wants to do, kind of thing. So that's the plan for what we have envisioned. We'll see what ends up happening in reality, right? But we are definitely racing Friday, 2:30 p.m. It's 6:30 p.m. UTC, which is equivalent to 18:30 UTC. Trying to do time zone shifts and everything is always so much fun. And then if you go European clock, which is 24-hour clock, I'm always like, all right, so 6:30, so that's 6.5 hours from 12, so that's 18:30 UTC. Bam.
It's like that Julia Roberts thing with all the
Yes. Yeah. So and hopefully we'll someone from Udo will be representing during the race, and we can maybe have a little conversation between races while drivers get ready and all that. So it'll be fun to see Udo in the house. What? And yeah, over $500,000 in the prize purse for this one race. Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad. Yeah. So that's the big thing that's happening in terms of racing with us. Obviously, the tracks are another big thing that's happening. I've seen a lot of people submitting tracks. A couple of things on tracks. Remember, they're only going to pick one. So I've seen a lot of people setting up like 4, 5, 6 different tracks. They're only going to take one to start. So pick your best track, pick the one that has the least problems, that is the simplest for Upland to implement, so that you can almost make sure that you have the track. If you are submitting a URL sanctioned track, I would recommend you put in the little text description that they have that it's a URL sanctioned track that's being submitted. I don't know if it carries any weight with the Upland team, but you never know, right? Any little bit that helps you kind of get a little more notice is always good. Obviously, the reason I say kind of putting that seal of the URL stamp on it, and Dr. Tidd, kind of mentioned it earlier, but that stamp is that what it shows is that as a race commissioner, as a player in the community, you actually went through the headache of getting your racetrack certified by URL. Which means that you have ownership, you have development, you have community engagement, you have a business plan kind of concept on how you're going to build and drive community engagement. To me, that really kind of becomes a seal of effort and kind of a demonstration of this is not just, ooh, I want to submit a track because I want to have a cool, meta venture or whatever they're calling it now, right? It really just shows that you're actually more than just trying to get a cool feature. You actually have put a lot of work into building what you have. So I really think that folks should, you're going to submit a URL track, submit it with the URL, stating it's URL sanctioned. If you want to get your track sanctioned in URL, know that there is a process. It is a difficult process. It is a tedious process. But if you follow the process, you can get through it pretty quick. What am I missing? Oh,
I'm so sorry.
No, hey.
Squirreled in the chats.
I actually created a game called That's What She Said. Long story with a friend. It was amazing. It was a game of innuendos, and it was awesome.
You made it?
Yeah, and then someone stole my idea and put it out in Target, and I was very mad. So, moving on. But yeah, I can actually show you guys like the board game and everything. Anyway, moving on. I will say, sorry, I sidetrack real quick. There was the innuendo word was nail.
Nail. All right.
And then my friend's response to that was, man, it's so bent it won't go in. That's what she said.
My God.
So point being, it could be a lot of fun. Anyway,
you need to program it. We got to play it online in Discord or something. Upland Duendos.
Yeah, there you go. All right, let's work on that more. So, so yeah, the tracks, keep them simple. Submit with URL if you're URL sanctioned, and remember, it's only one track that will be approved. Maybe once you have your one track in your MetaVenture, you might be able to kind of add tracks to it. I know Dr. Tid and several others, that's what they're planning on doing. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to submit. I might be submitting the Rancho Sphinx for Abdullah 86, or I might be submitting the URL HQ track, but I haven't been able to figure out a variation of the URL HQ track that's 2.5 miles long. So that is definitely a challenge for a lot of the URL tracks, is trying to figure out how to get it down to 2.5. Beyond that, I don't really have much else. Any questions? Nope, no questions.
Wait. What time is this again for PT?
PT, oh geez, it would be 11:30.
11:30.
AM.
So, NFT Architect asks what time that would be in Aussie time. That would be about 4:30 AM where Ben is from, NFT Architect. I don't know if that helps you.
NFT Architect, you're in Aussie?
Yeah.
You're in Aussie. I didn't realize an NFT Architect was in Australia. Sorry, dude.
He likes them shrimps on the Barbie dolls. All right, Brisbane. Yeah, perfect.
Ah, okay, nice. I want to visit.
I just don't want to see any spiders. Prawns. Prawns on the Barbie.
All right, so that's kind of all I have for racing, and enjoy.
Thanking you. No hot boys today, but in their place, what I want to do is I just want to bring some light to a fellow UDU member, Dub Writer. So Dub and Big Buddha do a show every Saturday on Left's House channel called Game Zone, both YouTube and Twitch. They play Web3 games and generally chat about what's been going on in, the metaverse and the space, NFTs, very laid back, very chill. They don't have a collection or anything like that. It's just basically like a place to hang out and listen to them talk about projects. They're very awesome. I really like Dub Writer. He's the one that does our beginning. This is not to be taken as financial advice. We used him because I would call him Mr. Fancy Voice. He's British. They also have a Discord. I'm going to put the invite for that in the description. I'll actually put that here as well if anybody wants to join. The way he described it was very small and chill, very lurker or shy person friendly. They have a lot of resources in there about Web3 games and try to lean towards free to play and free to earn, so it's easy for peeps to get involved and try some of them out. So yeah, just want to give him a little nudge out there, give him a follow, give him a watch. He's awesome. And Shaq, over to you.
All right. So now, without cheating, for a 5,000 Epics pop quiz, and for fairness, first person to write down in the chat who said the famous code phrase that I'm about to drop. This one's easy, so everyone get ready. Is everyone ready? Okay, here we go. I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse. Good job, Crypto Jedi.
What is it? Which one?
Wait,
Yeah.
No, sorry. No, you're close. That's not it.
No, it wasn't Michael. It was the dad, Marlon Brando.
Yes.
Jack Nicholson.
What was his name? What was his name in the movie? Who did Marlon Brando?
Malik said it. Don Corleone. I went with the actor, not the. But yeah, it's Don Corleone.
Okay, is that the same as Vito?
Well, Vito might be his first name, right? Yeah. So yeah, Vito.
Okay.
Yeah. So his first name was Vito Corleone, but he was known as Don Corleone.
Okay. Thank you.
Don
Malik.
being his title or
So-
his honorific.
So you were first, Dak? Because you
Well,
said,
I had the
Brand-
actor's
mean-
name, not.
well, I think either one is fine, right? Cheese?
Your contest, your rules.
Okay.
I'll take it.
No
I
pressure on me.
think it goes to Dak.
Yeah,
That was really close. Okay.
Oh wait, I'm gonna tell Ben now so we can
Okay, so that goes to Dak. Good job, everyone.
say Dak won 5K pop quiz. Nice.
Okay, and then we've got to have a code phrase.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so the code phrase this week is keep your temper. Nobody else wants it.
Ooh. All right, so it's right there. Nobody could say they didn't see it. That you could always just don't be greasy, Malik. Dog. Sorry. Doggy dog. Have a good one. A quote from Ben. No, this is all Shaq's that I give
Okay.
Shaq certain things and she rolls with it. She's amazing. So
Right, so
she's a genius.
awesome job, Dak, and keep the code phrase in mind, everyone. We're going to get to the win and wine of the week. Ben wrote in a win and a wine, so I'll go ahead and read that now. Ben's win of the week. Knowing that transportation and map asset inventory mechanics are on the way, I gobbled up the cargo van and pickup truck floors to hopefully ensure that Samurai Aquatics and our future meta ventures are as ready as we can possibly be for whatever curveballs get thrown our way as part of the impending changes to transportation. So that's the win, was Ben got a whole bunch of cargo vans and pickups. Good job. Okay, Ben's wine of the week. We seem to be in a bit of a habit where important announcements like the Speedway Meta Ventures go out in a rush and are then followed up through the following weeks with crucial information related to the announcement. Perhaps it's related to the gap between the developers / community managers and the community, as very often many of the community's follow-up questions seem like very obvious ones from those of us in the community. How can we work towards further closing this gap, reducing community frustrations, and saving the managers a bunch of time on the back end of announcements? Does anyone else have a wine or a win?
Well, I want to play devil's advocate to Ben's wine. There's been so much positivity here. We haven't had any wines and I miss them. I kind of miss Ben and his complaining. But what he said is true. I think if they put a disclaimer at the end saying things are not concrete, information may change, we're just giving you right now what we know, I think that would be great, because a lot of people want the information right away. But if they think it's the end like of that information, then they're going to be disappointed, or like simple mistakes. Just putting things are subject to change at the end of their announcements would save a lot of butthurt. But yeah, my win is all the freaking announcements, and wine I truly can't think of anything. Anybody else?
I think that, going to what Ben says, I am not whining about it, but he has a point.
Yeah.
And to me, it's sort of like when you get your thing from the store that has to be assembled, but the engineers wrote the assemble instructions and they don't know what the questions are.
Yeah.
Upland would benefit from like having players on their payroll that, and I guess that's maybe what the community managers could do, is just in advance, they
Yeah.
try to implement the thing and give some feedback. Anyway, that's just my only idea for that. My win of the week is finding out that my structure ornament showroom got approved, even though I haven't heard it from Upland yet. But my store is right there in Detroit and I can see it, and I'm super excited for it to open.
Nice. And you can't put anything in there just yet, right?
That's right. It's non-functioning, but it's there. So I'm just waiting for Upland to let me know it was approved.
Nice. I hope it's soon.
Thank you.
Oh, Maui, do you want to say that? You want me to read it for you? Maui said she has a win. Her new BE from earlier today. What BE is that?
Let's see it. Let's see it.
No.97, my win of the week, officially started our project Twitter account and planned the content for the week. Nice. That's cool. I like to see people starting things and like putting things out there. That's awesome. Anyone else?
I don't know. I don't think it qualifies as a win or a wine, but what we were talking about before with the idea of Genesis evolving into more of a conference with abstract submissions, and how I kind of did a little abstract submission for a panel conversation around racing and the economics of racing in Upland with some pretty impressive guest speakers.
Ooh.
So
like it.
hopefully, I submitted it to Upland to see if maybe they would be interested. Hopefully they say, this sounds cool. We like to see the community being engaged and bringing content to us. Let's do it.
I bet they will. If you don't, Upland, you should. 'Cause I know you watch this. NFT Architect's win is he woke up for the live stream. Yeah, I quite light it up, Dennis. I almost choked on my tongue. Really? Oh, Ajita. Can I share the user here? Yeah, sure. I watch Light It Up Dan too. I think he's a fun entertainment for when I could catch him. Usually I'm working, but I really try to catch him. He's been on vacation for the last week, so I haven't had much of the dub. Oh my goodness. Dr. Tid, too many, to be honest. The biggest win is Upland when they deliver on the projects, and it seems that they're certainly coming soon. Thanks TB for stopping in. He has to leave. If nobody else has, I am gonna go into the UDU node updates. Now let's see, who do we have on here? So it's just, well, I'll read what Ben gave me. Midtown Terrace, MTU, San Francisco, node manager Ben. Thanks to Finsky and Cyclonics for helping to get some random additional builds finished up for Ben. We had a big boost in the neighborhood ratings after the recalibration. However, it's important to note that system is still in the very early stages, and we expect things to jump around for a while. All in all, we are doing incredibly well, considering we've got only one MetaVenture, despite applying for several. There's just no getting around the gatekeeper aspect of MetaVenture approval. Jeez, Ben. So ultimately, a lot of our potential to achieve neighborhood collection status is out of our hands. We just stick to the plan with the information we have. The Bronx. So we just finished a coop build a nice apartment. I put my stuff onto somebody, I forgot their name, but we're over 50% built up so far. So we're getting there. I moved a lot of all of my, well, most of it, because I separate my structure ornaments between Ben and myself in Midtown Terrace and Bronxdale. I also have a whole bunch of decor that I brought over. So I'm gonna make sure that it looks pretty. Once everything is built out, I'm going to work with people to maybe even get their stuff decorated. We'll see what happens. And that's that. So we're on to Upland events and giveaways. So before the Upland events, the main topics, we're going to discuss what I mentioned earlier in regards to the Upland events, the Easter egg hunt challenge, wearables, map asset manufacturing, and the Upland Kingdoms from Grom Bringle. I keep messing his name up. I'm so sorry. Is there anybody wants to like talk about and on any of that? Anybody looking to put out a map asset manufacturing and is looking for an artist?
Ooh,
I apply.
wait,
Hold on.
hold on, wait. I think that's actually the hardest part. If you are a 3D modeler, I think there's a lot of us that would love to partner with you because some of us have factories and accessibility to resources, but not creative talent.
Mhm.
And all of the creatives obviously are trying to do their own thing. Plus they have like a million other projects going. So I think we need someone, and I know that there are Discord communities that are trying to help artists meet with like the business folk. So I consider myself the business folk. I need artists as well. So yeah, that's the hard part.
I have connected several of people with artists in the past. I've connected Slav with TML. I've connected a lot of people. I do know some people who are learning that don't really want or have the resources to open a factory and do want to actually partner with somebody. I mean, Diz Jack is out there. She's amazing. We have Blue Rain. She's amazing. Like, these are people who are learning how to do Blender and, need to partner up. So I am willing to make that connection. People, just if you're shy, if you don't want to do it on your own, just send me a DM if you're an artist or if you are a business person looking for an artist, and I'll make the connection if I can.
Well, put me on the business category looking at artists.
You got it. Yeah, I want to see everybody succeed. I want to see my friends move up there with me, because it's like what's the point if you're just up there celebrating by yourself? You want to have your friends there celebrating with you, passing the glass of champagne to them.
So do you guys know, I was talking to VS86 yesterday, and he had been under the impression that factories are going to be able to, for example, that you could hire factories to manufacture your stuff, but it's like not really looking like that right now.
Not right now, but in the future.
Yeah, and I think that UCC, they had the whole concept of manufacturing, right? And then the idea of being able to set up assembly lines. I mean, we had something already kind of planned out with Ben 68 and Morecheese for Samurai Aquatics. It just didn't work out that way. But if they ever allow it, they'll be able to produce their 20,000 mints like that.
And did you guys see the Dishak put out a suggestion for Upland that, because she said there's artists that maybe don't have the spark to run a factory, and there's lots of factories that don't have artists, and that she thinks it would be good for Upland's royalty program to have a path for artists to earn royalties on their art that they provide to factories. And I agree with that 100%.
I agree.
I will say,
Okay, go.
no, sorry, I was just going to say, as someone who's on the business side, and now that they have the royalty program kind of designed, I would be happy to create a royalty program with artists where we will produce their goods, and then they get the royalties from it. So we would just get the initial sale, and that could be the contract that I would be happy to set a contract like that with any artist out there, where if we can produce the item, we will get the initial sale, but then the artist gets all of the royalties.
I'm gonna give my opinion on this. I agree, and at the same time, I also kind of not disagree, but feel like it should be something that is talked about between the partnership. Like, I feel like that's what makes business people attractive to the artists, is the fact that they put the investment in to get the spark to be able to run the thing. If you get with somebody like Dak who's willing to do that, like in Samurai Aquatics, we split everything 3 ways equally, no matter what, right? So if you get with somebody who is willing to do that for you, I think that's a perfect business transaction. In regards to the royalties, you're never going to always get a perfect thing. Like, I feel like it's a give and take. Definitely. I do agree that artists should definitely be paid for their stuff, but if they don't have the resources to even start, it's great to have that jumping point from someone who can give them that start, who is a business person, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of different ways where they could be managed, but I think part of it is the royalty program had to be implemented, which that finally was. And I think containers and some of the digital asset transfer mechanisms need to be implemented by Upland, which hopefully they're still working on. And then finally, you need to allow third-party spark on factories. And then once that kind of all comes together, then you're going to see full out kind of market mechanics working with production, demand, and cost.
Yeah. There's a lot to take. Because like, all right, yeah, the royalties are there, but then like, let's say, for example, Dak is using all of his spark, right? And that's money too. That's a cost right there. So, like, let's say spark prices jump up dramatically and he's not able to sell his spark for a little bit of side cash. He's spending it, all of it, completely on manufacturing in the factory. So there's a lot of things you have to look into regarding how things run in the factories. It's not just you put it in and it goes. There's a lot of things to take in consideration.
Yep.
Yeah, I think one of Deshak's suggestions was that there be an actual method for spark stakers to stake factories, and for all of those things to be included and considered by Upland instead of the way it is right now.
It'll evolve. It'll definitely evolve. Like, I mean, it's still kind of in beta, the whole thing, and it's still being worked out. There's still a lot of kinks in there, so we'll see. Hopefully it can get to that point, but I still think that it's really good right now in a way that, like, everybody has something to kind of give in regard to a partnership.
Yeah, NFT Architect asks, would the royalties go to the manufacturer only, not the actual designer, if a third-party designer was used? And the answer is that's correct, yes.
Yeah.
The factory gets the royalties.
Yeah, and I think that's where a long time ago, there was a whole conversation around blueprints and designers being able to create blueprints and sell the blueprints kind of thing. And then obviously doing business with someone that would be credible, and that you could do the 3-way split like Ben and Morecheese do with B-Tech, you know, they have a reputation. They're trusted. You got to work with people you can trust, and don't always just take someone's word for it.
Yeah. Yeah. And NFT Architect, I just want to bring something up real quick. When you said a third person designer, if you're looking for somebody on Fiverr or somebody outside of Upland, just please make sure that they include use for NFT, because a lot of the time in very small writing, they put not to be used as an NFT or as a like a structure in a world or whatnot. So just make sure it doesn't have that writing in it when you do that, because you can get caught. What? Hot.
Coffee.
I want another coffee so bad. Where's my husband? He usually comes home for lunch.
You know what? I think it's time for iced coffee. Cold brew iced coffee.
No!
I'm gonna go get some.
You're so mean. All right, let's see.
Actually, it really is interesting, and obviously, it would be great to be able to do that. You know, we're trying different things, and hopefully, we'll be able to use factories for future projects. But I am interested in the manufacturing. Just need an artist, so leave it at that.
Yeah, and like someone like you who already has established things in Upland and in other places is a smart person to team up with, because people already see what you're doing. People already know like you're trustworthy and whatnot. So just kind of look at people inside, what they're doing, blah, blah, blah. I think it's nice. I think it's cool. I need a number one. You didn't even have one coffee, Jedi? That's crazy. All right. Well, oh, what's your vision, Dak? That's a deep question from NFT Architect.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Vision for what?
I know.
I have like
There's
4 or
so
5.
many visions. That's a deep one. He's like, well, when I was 5.
So I have this vision of having one of the best guilds in a MMRP,
MMORPG.
RPG, NFT based game. Oh wait, we did that.
We did that. Done.
We did that.
Dustin.
Check.
Check.
No, but in terms of Upland, I think that the idea is UGC in mass. That is my vision. I'll leave it at that.
That's nice and sweet and to the point. I love it. Competitions and prizes for last week's challenge. So this was a big one. To celebrate the 2nd anniversary of the first node builders, Upland Development United, you were tasked to create some form of artwork, AI generated but altered, added to it in some way was okay, that celebrates UDU beginning the 3rd year of node development. Entries were posted on Twitter mentioning UDU begins 3rd year of node development and some target hashtags. All 7 entries were put to a vote by the UDU team within the UDU server. Those were from Spinsky, Laban, Maui, Grizzly, Shaq, Jazzy Jazz, and NFT Architect. Now the winner was a tie. So Ben actually put a video out that will be on Twitter to announce the winner. It was between Finsky and NFT Architect. I didn't watch the video. Did he put the names on a wheel or pull it out of a hat, Shaq?
He pulled it out of a hat.
He pulled it out of a hat. I'm gonna tell him who the winner is. Should I tell him?
Yeah.
So, so both entries were amazing. He ended up pulling out Finsky's name from the hat. And I just want to go to that really quick because these were amazing. These entries were amazing. If I could find them.
I didn't know they were up for vote.
Yeah, I I don't think many people did. To be quite honest.
Because Ben said he was going to choose one himself.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But he put the pictures on
No, it was said that you guys were going to have, it was going to be a little different this time, that the UDU was going to vote on entries.
see, there you go. We weren't paying attention, chat.
Well, I thought I was.
I never pay
Okay.
attention though, so that's all right. Hold on. I'm gonna show you the I'm gonna show you the entries. So this was from Finsky with the cool llama and the bridge.
Oh man, that is sweet.
Isn't that sweet? And then we have Laban with the Death Star moon. That looks pretty cool. And then the rocket going, UDU world. That's cool. Then we have Celia. Oh, Maui. The all white building, very fancy. I like the little shadow reflection underneath. Reflection, not shadow, cheese. Then we have Grizzly. I like how he chose like a nice kind of samurai-ish architect, UDU development. That's really cool. This was Shaktilyn's. This was amazing. Look at the little Ben faces. It is so cute. I freaking love it. Then we have Jazzy Jazz. This was really cool. I like it nice and simple with the fireworks. Happy 2nd anniversary. And then this was NFT Architect, which is fucking amazing.
Right. I do remember it just got right in there. I
Yes.
remember the Twitter conversation. You just made it.
This is amazing. I really like this one. I love you, Finsky, but this was my vote. And yeah, this is like just, I know he's an architect / artist, and he created this, and it's crazy amazing. Congratulations. I have to put these names in a thing, right? And spin the wheel. Was that a thing or was that not a thing? Let me keep reading. Oh yeah.
This one was won.
That everyone who participated still has a chance at a secondary prize of 14,000 UPIX. So yes, there's actually an additional for the wheel. Let me do that. I didn't even pull my wheels up. I miss Ben. All right, where's my cowboy hat? Wheel of names. We're gonna get the wheel of names. Look how fast I am. Look at that. All right. So I don't know why this is empty right here, but right? That's weird. Why is that empty? Oh, well, if it lands on that, we'll just spin again. So I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Let's see who wins the 14,000 UPIX. Jazzy Jazz, 14K. Woo! All right, let me just send that to Ben. 14K for Jazz. Perfect. Now, this week's challenge, Shaq.
All right. Let us know in the YouTube comments or within the contest channel of the MVE server, which is your favorite map asset item of Samurai Aquatics and Decor, and why.
Ooh.
The prize is, this is big, you will win that item and 1,000 UPIX for every entry up to a maximum of 20,000 UPIX.
Wow,
Wow.
that is cool.
All right. So Cheese, can you give us some updates on the wine and cheese shop?
Sure. Let's see. Wine and Cheese in the Metaverse show. In episode 79, Cheese, was joined by the one and only Coach Funk from the HGF Collective, Homegrown F Collective. To dive into some of the latest Upland Metaverse and other Web3 sector news and discuss the many Web3 projects Coach Funk is involved in. This included the upcoming drop on 420, which is 9 days away. Did you catch the moist magic mushrooms inspired giveaway? There's still time to enter. That was a great giveaway. I don't even know how we got into that. Oh, because of the mushroom block explorer that you were able to buy. Remember that? It was, I don't know if it was Jackie Sai, I don't know. But anyway, let's see, there's still time to enter. Ben68 will be back in his co-host seat for the next episode, and we will be back to our regular shitty shows. We both would like to extend a massive thank you to our guest hosts that have filled in for Ben over the last 3 weeks, those being Jazzy Jazz, Blue Rain, Shaktilyn, and Coach Funk. You guys rock. I appreciate you so much. You saved my life. Thank you so much. All right, let's see. Quips. QUIP stands for questions, insights, provocations, statements. If at any stage you have some Upland or UDU related quips that we could dive into on the weekly UDU podcast, let us know. You can fill this out via the Google form link. I'll actually put this here as well. Oh, Sully's home and he's making my iced coffee, yeah. While they can be submitted anonymously, if you include your Upland in-game name and we use your submission, we will send you 5,000 UPIX just for either complaining or asking a question. This week's quip is from Vamtech. All right, on 3/31, March 31st, Upland changed dynamic treasure cooldown times. They also intentionally or not made these cooldown cities independent, meaning one player could win an exclusive in the Bronx, start the 8-hour cooldown clock, then travel to Rutherford and be cleared to find and win another exclusive. In the past, the cooldown clock locked you out of hunting for that level of treasure in all cities. Upland has stated that they want to level the hunting playing field, but this change gives skilled hunters a major advantage. What do you guys think? I agree. I agree with him. So basically what he's saying is if you're in the Bronx and you're treasure hunting, not the treasure hunting thing that we have now, just the regular ones, and you're on the cooldown, you can actually travel to another city and the cooldown is not there. It doesn't travel with you. What do you guys think? Are they trying to push traveling more? They're trying to get people to travel more.
Maybe they're trying to incentivize like treasure maps in lots of cities. Like if you can afford it, buy a map in every treasure hunting city.
Finsky goes, I don't care, I don't hunt. You don't want the frog, Finn? Gosh. I hunt late at night. Everybody is sleeping. It's the only way I could catch anything.
No hunting for me.
That makes sense, CJ. It seems like they're incentivizing continuous play or more frequent play.
Right now with this competition, I go between Bakersfield and LA for like the longer ones, the multiple entries. the golden chicken or whatever it is. So it works out pretty well that you can go and have city specific cooldown. I think the issue with the East Coast is that travel's too quick. Like you can make one, then hit the other. And but and you got to remember when you hit the rare in that city, you're done for 12 hours or whatever. You can't get that one again. But on the lower tiers, yeah, it definitely, if you're skilled, you can flip flop between and make some good epics for sure.
Oh yeah.
The science behind it and mechanics behind it have just gotten too complicated for me. I don't even do the contests. I won't fly to a city for a contest or anything. It's just keep it simple.
I don't usually do that either, but I did it today. I did it for this event because of the frog. It's really rare for me to do that. It's Pepe.
I think they're trying to give a different type of play to all the different personalities. Like some of us that are involved in big projects are too busy to be bothered by this stuff. But there are others who are not busy in projects and they need this stimulation and challenge.
Yeah. I bought some properties in Hyde Park for the Hyde Park Ninjas yesterday.
Sweet.
I did not fly from Rio to Hyde Park and pay the 4,000 whatever it is UPEX cost to do that. So some people just got lucky and were able to sell their properties in Hyde Park because I didn't want to travel.
Right. Same with Bones Balboa or Lake Balboa. You can go there and mint, or you can find on secondary if you don't want to travel. Yep.
Sorry guys, I'm just putting names in here. Keep talking.
I'm gonna fish Lake Balboa then. Lake Balboa is really cool.
Hey, the pirate Balboa, I have his nostrils. I have the nostrils, so I'm happy.
That's awesome.
You have the nostrils.
I got the nostrils. When TML first came to UCC and he's showing the whole project and everything, and I'm like, dude, I want the nostrils.
That's hilarious. Oh yeah, that's that big face. And oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
so in case you guys don't know, maybe not everyone here knows, but you've
NFT
probably
archetype.
heard of Bones Balboa that TML created. It looks like a big skeleton face on the map in Lake Balboa, Los Angeles. But since then, NFT Architect, our very own, has gone in and created numerous awesome, amazing, cool, spooky neighborhoods within Lake Balboa. It is not fully minted. It's going to have a layer 2 presence that's rather phenomenal, including a layer 2 where the mass gaming market comes into UPEX world and can play the Bones Balboa spooky carnival and see where the layer 1 Upland properties are for sale and go through it like a portal to enter layer 1 and purchase properties. So there's a lot that I have a lot to say about Lake Balboa, and I think it's pretty cool.
So are you guys organizing as kind of like the true Halloween node where you're going to have Halloween West, Halloween East with Creedmoor on the east and Balboa on the west?
That's a really cool idea. We definitely have a lot of overlap in our themes. Yeah.
Sounds like a nice node.
No. All right, make sure you guys are in that list that I just put down right there. Those are all the people that are in the wheel. I am going to spin for the 1 million UPEX. Pew, pew. All right. Look at this guy. I used to watch that. TV dad is in the house. All right. I'm getting squirreled. And boop. Oh, God. You're still here, Doctor. You get to spin for 1 million. Is there anything you want to tell me?
I think, yeah, hold on, I wrote it down.
I see.
I just got to remember where I put it. Hold on. I think I put it in a.
Uh-oh.
Hold on. Give me a minute.
I'll
Just
give
wait.
you a minute. I'll give you a minute.
Wrote
Hey,
it
I
down.
got all the time in the world.
Uh-oh, you get 10 seconds. Then it goes to
No,
the next person.
I wrote it down.
I can't
No
even
pressure.
find it.
Nope.
Hold on. Keep your temper. Nobody wants it.
Next person.
Oh no, he said it. He said it.
Oh, what did he
Keep-
say?
Keep your temper. Nobody wants it.
All right, I can find it. Right? Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. All right, so are you familiar with this,
I am.
Doctor? Oh, nice. All right. So watch the wheel. Tell me when to spin.
Sure. Let's go.
Oh,
What did
oh,
it say?
go,
Big money. Big money.
go. All right, so you won 1,000 epics so far. Will you keep that, or will you try for
was
the
kinda hoping to have-
50K?
3 weeks in a row, the 25K decision.
Yeah, that was great.
Let's let her roll.
Let's really, all right, watch the wheel. See if you could come up with a system. Tell me when.
Go.
Come on. Oh. So 500 epics. I'm assuming we're going to the last wheel. And remember, since you said the phrase, you get to spin this twice.
Yeah, let's go.
All right,
Let's-
watch it. Tell me when.
Okay, hold on. No. I'll take another spin again, too.
Oh my God. At least go up a little bit more. All right. So you got another spin, of course.
Yeah, we're
I'm
doing
gonna
another.
just refresh.
Let's do it.
Let me just refresh that. All right, watch it.
Yeah, hold on. Okay. I'm gonna say on now.
Oh.
Whoa. Good. That was fun. Thanks
That
for the
was fun. And you know what? I'll send you Morecheese NFT. Just send me your wax address. Dak, you still have to let me know which NFT you want, which collection you don't have
Ooh.
yet. Yeah. And someone else they were supposed to let me know what, I think it was Jazz. I have to get in touch with her. So yeah, you get 250. Shaq, bring us to the closing. Thank God.
A reminder that to go into the running for the 1 million epics wheel, you should be in the Zoom at the start of the show for the snapshot. And you need to be paying attention in the middle of the show to catch a code word. And you need to be here at the end when the wheel starts rolling. If you have an Upland NFT or Metaverse product, service, or event to promote, opportunities are available for sponsorship and engagement in the UDU podcast. This includes feature spotlights on the UDU podcast or long-form deep dives on the Wine and Cheese Show. Contact Ben68 or Morecheese to discuss and secure your spots. All proceeds go towards giveaways and prizes on the podcast. Please check out our sponsors, co-hosts, and other links in description to help support them and the show. Like, subscribe, rate, and review, spruik and spam, all that good stuff. Wrap us up, please, cheese.
Thank God Ben is back next week. Stay fresh, you cheesy bags.
Growing, waiting.
Are you looking for some of that quality outdoor decor? But you got no freaking idea where to go? Oh, come on over to Samurai Aquatics and Decor for all your outdoor decor needs. Got yourself an empty plot of boring virtual real estate in the metaverse, do ya? Yeah, just delete that. I'm still not ready, sorry. Got yourself an empty plot of boring virtual real estate in the metaverse, do ya? Or maybe some kind of crappy ramshackle building that, I don't know, needs a bit of extra spunk to it or something. And stop mucking about and get yourself over to Samurai Aquatics Discord to see all our available stock. We've got loads of different decor to spend your pretend money on. We've got saunas to fire you up, and ice baths to chew you the fudge out. Literally stock coming out of our ears. Grills, swings, seating, and more. So much more. And if we don't got it, give us a buzz, and we could probably make it. Get yourself on over to Samurai Aquatics at 30 Aqua Vista Way in Midtown Terrace, San Francisco, lickety split, and gorge yourself on outdoor decor.